you've done it. You're in the discovery call. The theme of this mastermind is how do we go from interview to them putting out their credit card. So this is where it begins. So this is typically where your existing sales process will do just fine. There is just one or two tweaks that you want to bear in mind, because the lead is coming from the podcast. And that's something that we had to work on as well, because it's not just like, okay, what made you book this call today? It's not like they're coming from an ad or from Facebook, right? It's like, okay, I made you book this call, so how do we shape all this? Always good to start with the framing. So little chit chats. You want to go straight to the point as well, though. Like, hey John, look, so the purpose of this call, I prepared a list of people that I think could be relevant connections. I'm going to walk you through them. You tell me who you want an introduction to. Also, based on the thing that we discussed last time, based on the thing that you told me around your content and your brand, and potentially looking into a podcast, I'd like to understand more about this. Like, what does that mean? How do you see it? What would be the goal? And if relevant, I'd like to lay out a plan together that you can take home. And if you're like, no, actually that makes sense, and you'd like to work with us, see what that would look like. Sounds good? Let's rock and roll. So then we use a very simple discovery call framework, which we call the closer framework. This is not from me. This is from Alex Hormozi. Albert will know. And I think this is the simplest structure to get to a sell, all based on the client. So a few things that Alex says when he presents this framework is there is only 3 things that you do in a sales call. You ask questions, you use analogies to make a point that anybody could relate to, and you ask for the sell. That's it. Like, the least you talk, the better. C stands for clarify. So this is where you're going to start, or like, okay, why did you look into all this? Like, why are you looking into a podcast? Why are you looking into building your brand? And here we need to go deep. Why are you looking into getting your managers, your middle managers being better leaders? Why are you looking into, potentially implementing some better value analysis in your practice, in your company? And it's about going deep. It's like, okay, but why? What does that mean for you? Like, how would that make you feel? What's the goal? Really clarifying what the problem is, so that you're going to have meat that you can bring back into the conversation afterwards, but also to be able to propose the right solution. Super, super important. Too many people skip that part or don't do it deep enough. Once you have a clear understanding of the problem and why they're here, you label them with the problem. So, okay, so sounds like you're trying to achieve bigger brand and 10 qualified leads per month, but you're too stuck in how to do it, to have the proper strategy and actually having the time to come up with the right strategy and execute on this. Sounds about right? Cool. Labeling them by repeating what I've told you, super important. And it shows that you're actively listening, but also that you're getting them. Like, you're about them and you're about their problem. O stands for overview of past experience. So here, this is where we get to okay, so you're trying to grow your brand. You're trying to get, 10, 15 qualified leads per month. Like, what have you tried so far to do that? I'm like, oh, nothing. Oh, why? But why now then? Like, here we need to understand, and we need to sit in the pain. We need to understand what it means for them, for how long they've been struggling with it. This is also where you get the metrics, right? So, okay, so for how long have you been losing money with your healthcare business because you're not doing this? If you keep on, if you don't do anything, if things stays like this, how much is that going to cost you, right? In risk, in time, whatever. This is where you sit in the pain and you get all the juice of, if you don't do anything about this, this is what's going to happen, or this is what's not going to happen, until there is nothing else to say. Back to the previous point, you want to have that proper time to sit in that pain and make them relieve it. It's about making them take action. And for that, people take action only if they're in pain. So that's CLO. Then sell stands for the vacation. So S stands for sell the vacation. So the way Alex says it is, you want to sell Maui, not packing your suitcase, going through TSA, having to pull down your pants, taking the plane, sitting next to someone who's farting, having delays. You don't want to sell this. You don't want to sell features. You want to sell the destination. This is where we're going here. Okay, so it sounds like you want to get listened to by your ICP each and every month, at least 1,000 of them. You want 10% of those to get into your funnel so that you can get into a call and grow your business. Yeah, I'm not talking about how we're going to edit the podcast, how we're going to fetch out the guest, how we're going to, we sell the destination, we sell the vacation. Now, this is where we need to nuance this one, and this is a bit of a deeper work we do with our clients when needed. We are selling consulting services or B2B coaching. It's usually a bit more complex than just, okay, I'm selling you a fitness program. You need fitness, accountability, and nutrition, right? It's usually a bit deeper, a bit more complex than this, which is why the way I like to do it is to book a second call to go through the different aspects of the vacation. But it's like you can do this in the discovery call, planting the seeds of like, okay, so it sounds like you don't have the time to actually record content that will have an impact on your audience. But if you did have a proper structure to just sitting down, recording, and someone publishing that for you, that would help, right? Yes. Okay, so it sounds like you're not getting into enough calls with the right decision makers of your ICPs. So if you had someone bringing in those calls to you, that would help. Yes, cool. And then we can already get them to buy in the benefits, not the features of the program. So here requires a bit more digging for each industries, but that's what you want to do. In a nutshell, sell the vacation, not the actual trip. E stands for explain away their concern. So this is the whole objection handling. Most of the time it's gonna be around timing, price, or stalling, meaning I need to talk to my partner. Different way to handle objections from here, but since you're all doing this for a while, you know how to handle those objections. And the last thing I would say is reinforce their decision. So the sell still happens after they took their credit card out. And actually, most people, I think it's 48 hours. People decide within 48 hours after making a purchasing decision if it was the right decision. So very quickly, you want to reinforce the fact that they made the right one. Alex talks about, sending handwritten cards, sending a personalized video from the founder is also good. We have an email personalized from Hussam, big sent to our clients like, hey, welcome to GHA Marketing. Very much looking forward to working with you. Here is the next step, clearly highlighted. We have a kickoff call already scheduled on that day. Looking forward to it. Again, a small nose reinforcing the decision is usually very, very good. I'm rushing to this because I know Rudy needs to leave. What I personally do is I do the CLO in the first call, and I do the SER in a second call. Because between the introductions, properly digging into the pain, properly digging into how we can help, we need usually a bit more time. And between the discovery call and the close call, I can send them proof. I can send them my VSL. I can send them some case studies. I can build further proof that what I do works. If you run a professional services firm and you are not growing as fast as you'd like, then I'd like to give you a free gift. My team and I have put together the B2B Podcasting Secrets Playbook, which is basically 3 years of my teams and I knowledge, solving branding and lead generation for good for professional services firms. So if this is you, then your business growth is directly linked to the number and the quality of the relationships that you're able to build with actual decision makers, also whilst building reputation and brand. And we got pretty good at helping people like you do exactly that using podcast. So the playbook has 9 sections, from how to even position it, to finding the first guests, how to transform content and guests into clients, all the way up to becoming the #1 influencer in your space. It includes visuals, videos, text, and templates, and case studies relevant to each and every section. And if you want to go even faster, then on the thank you page, you can book a call directly with my team, and we will look at your firm, see if we can help. And if so, we'll put together a tailored plan for your specific podcast that you can use and implement.